What's poppin', guys? Welcome back to Sam Talk Sports. Let's talk about UFC 270. Francis Ngannou versus Ciryl Gane. It's just happening in a couple hours. It's currently 6 p.m. Pacific time. And before this epic heavyweight matchup occurs, I want to give you guys my prediction, have some fun with it. And man, this is probably one of the most exciting, uncertain 50-50 picks because Ngannou and Gane are so different, yet they're both so talented. Ngannou, he's a knockout king, he has that one-punch power, but Ciryl Gane is so masterful with his footwork, his technique, and I feel like this is such an intriguing matchup because, Ngannou and Gane, they were formerly training partners, sparring partners, and we all know about that exit. Ngannou, he had not the very unceremonial exit from Gane and his former coach Lopez. So who is gonna win this matchup? As you can see right here, Ciryl Gane is currently the favorite in this matchup, which I find surprising because he has interim belt, but Ngannou is still right now the champ, and he beat Stipe, and Stipe is probably the best heavyweight of all time in the UFC at this current moment. So I'm quite surprised that the odds makers are favoring Ciryl Gane right now for this matchup, but understandably so. Like I mentioned before, Ciryl Gane has been nothing but brilliant in his 7 UFC matchups. So far 7 straight wins, clean record, clean sheet, 10-0, and look at Ciryl Gane's significant strike accuracy rate of 60%. That's phenomenal. Ngannou obviously one-punch power, but let's break down this matchup a little bit deeper. If you look at Francis Ngannou, he has really developed so much strength, and not only strength but ability to kind of notice the openings in his opponents. And after those 2 unanimous decision losses to Stipe and then Derek Lewis, 5 straight TKO victories, and look at the time it took for Ngannou to win. 4 first round KOs and 1 early second round KO of Stipe. Even before those 2 unanimous decision losses, submission, but mostly TKOs or KOs early on, first round, second round. And like I said, one-punch power by Ngannou. It's usually just the punches that gets to his opponents, And on the flip side, we got Ciryl Gane. He is really, in terms of the MMA field, he kind of just suddenly burst onto the scene, winning that interim belt in just a matter of 3 years. Super impressive. But interestingly for Ciryl Gane, in his past 5 fights, they have more so gone into the later rounds, the 3rd rounds, 4th rounds, and 2 unanimous decisions to the 5th round, both wins, both unanimous decisions. So it's really interesting to see how Ngannou has been winning his fights very early on, first round, second round knockouts. Ciryl Gane takes longer in terms of his pacing and in terms of his fighting style. He likes to, he doesn't want to be too aggressive, to go all out. He reserves energy, and I feel like this is an advantage for Ciryl Gane with his ability to kind of control the tempo, the flow of the matchup. And so I feel like if this matchup if it was like a first round decision or second round decision by KO, it definitely would be Ngannou. So this matchup, it's very important to see that first round what happens, because I feel like Francis Ngannou is going to come out guns blazing. He wants to prove a point. He wants to show he's the best heavyweight in the world. And because I feel like this win over Ciryl Gane will definitely put him on that level. But Ciryl Gane, I feel like he wants to kind of drag this match out a little bit longer. I feel like the longer this match goes on to the 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, I like Ciryl Gane's chances of winning because I feel like he has more stamina, he has more experience, more equipped to go to these later rounds. Look at that Volkov and Rosenstruik, those 2 matches, 5 rounds, 5 minutes, 25 minutes, and Ngannou really hasn't experienced that in the octagon. If we look at those 2 decision losses by Ngannou in recent years, first off, he lost to Lewis, 11 total strikes to 20, and against Stipe, wow, 3 to 200. So as the match drags on longer, I believe that Ngannou isn't well equipped to handle Ciryl Gane's agility and his tenacity and his cardio that's really on in the game. And if we look at Ngannou versus Stipe 2, Ngannou, he dominated and he was able to land that punch combo in the second round, and that's what led him to victory. Meanwhile, for Ciryl Gane, let's look at his past 3 fights. Was it against Rosenstruik? I hope I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, sorry if I'm not, but 128-49. Look at those leg kicks, look at that control. This was a masterful performance by Ciryl Gane against Alexander Volkov, a much closer matchup, but you could feel like Gane was in control every single round. If you look at the score sheet, you know, that validated my point. And he still had a lot more total strikes, significant strikes, all that good stuff over Volkov. And obviously that Lewis versus Gane matchup, that really blew, you know, my expectations for Ciryl Gane, because Derek Lewis is a veteran in the fight game, especially in the UFC. Yet Ciryl Gane absolutely dispatched Lewis 112-16. And I know when Ngannou faced Lewis, that was, when was that? That was in 2018. So 3.5 years from present day. So obviously Ngannou has improved a lot. But seeing how Lewis in these past 3.5 years, he has also improved. But Ciryl Gane, I mean, he just completely was in control of that game and that match, and you knew Lewis had no chance when that match started. And Gane just, you know, was so dominant, so powerful, and this is the Gane that I expect. I don't expect Gane to have a KO or beat Ngannou in 1 round or 2 rounds. I think the chance of that happening is next to none. But if this battle, this matchup goes to a decision, I got Gane all the way. And also, I really want to mention one thing, why, even though I feel like Ngannou has so much more power, this is a matchup that I am worried for him, simply because of 2 reasons. One, he has been relatively inactive ever since that March 27th matchup in 2021 against Stipe. This is his first matchup since then. Meanwhile, on Ciryl Gane's side, while he has less, he only has 10 professional MMA matchups compared to my guy Francis Ngannou with 19. If for just 1 month before that Stipe versus Ngannou round 2 matchup, Gane faces Rosenstruik, and then right after that he had 2 more matchups. So pretty much in the span of the last 11 months, Ciryl Gane has had 3 matchups. You know, he's been in the cage, if you factor in all the time, he has been in the cage for 39 minutes, gaining and soaking up all that experience. He has went the distance with Volkov and Rosenstruik, while for Ngannou, in the past 11 months, he's been in the ring for a grand total of 5 minutes and 52 seconds. So I feel like he'll have a level to rust to his game, and I feel like Ciryl Gane is going to be smart enough, especially with Lopez in his corner, to slow the tempo of the matchup down, first round, second round, play more defensive, maybe allow Ngannou to win those 2 rounds. But 3rd, 4th, 5th round, Gane is gonna mix and match, find some openings, score those very important points in the UFC when it comes to if this matchup goes down to a decision. I got Ciryl Gane winning by decision. 5 rounds, 5 minutes. Ngannou's gonna be tired at the end. He's gonna start off with a bang, but I feel like Ciryl Gane has got this one in the bag, and even though I don't know the results, I can't wait for this fight. It's gonna be such a fun one. And also, I feel like Francis Ngannou, especially right here, he says that he won't find the UFC again under current deal after the title defense versus Ciryl Gane. From Francis Ngannou ignoring Lopez and Ciryl Gane when he met them backstage. Well, he didn't really meet them, he just glanced at them and then walked past them backstage, to even this headline, which I totally understand Ngannou. I really support his belief that he should be earning more money. You know, fair play. I feel like Ngannou, especially as probably the best heavyweight in the world right now, with his draw, with the pay-per-view numbers, I feel he definitely deserves, you know, a better contract. I feel like these will kind of cloud his head a little bit. It's not going to allow him to focus fully on this matchup. Meanwhile, for Ciryl Gane, I feel like he's carefree, and his mind isn't in too many places compared to Ngannou, who is trying to, fight for more rights, and big respect to him. But I feel like, strictly speaking, for this matchup, it's going to affect his ability to beat Ciryl Gane. So I got Ciryl Gane by decision. Let's see what happens. Alright, that's it for this breakdown. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to live a spicy life. Peace.